certification in the countries of the world. Today we will talk about certification in France. So, purpose of the lecture to study the possibility of certification of goods in France, and question of our lecture is the certification in France. In France, in 1938, a national certification system for the French standard was created by decree. Responsibility for the overall organization and the management of system was assigned to the French Association for the Standardization. It calls AFNOR. The certification system for the French standard means that products that have been certified in accordance with established rules fully meet the requirements of French standards. Thus, the system is based solely on national standards prepared and approved by AFNOR. The NF mark is registered in France in accordance with the law on trade and service marks. After the end of Second World War, the active use of the system began. Currently, it includes more than 75 certification systems, each of which applies to specific product groups. For example, household appliances and machinery. 15 operates the certification system, electric appliance and household refrigerators. National certification system for the NAV mark is based on the principle of decentralization, with the exception of the critical issues that are decided by the AFNOR and the steering committee of the system. In addition to AFNOR, certification is managed by the state and industry level bodies, the French Foreign Trade Center, the Center for Information Standards and Technical Regulation, the Union of Electrical Engineering. AFNOR defines the test centers and the laboratories, is responsible for the accreditation for the segment assignment and the cancellation of the NF mark, and coordinates the cooperation of national certification bodies with international organization. CNCE is responsible for certification of exported and imported goods. CINR provides information support to the national certification system and economic sectors, having a data bank of more than 400,000 standards, rules, and certification systems, accreditation procedures in many countries of the world, and the international and the regional organizations. UTE develops regulatory requirements for certification of electronic and electrical products, being not only AFNOR, authorized industry certification body, but also the National Organization for Standardization in the field of electronics and electrical engineering and the communications. Conformity assessment in France has several forms. Confirmation of compliance with European directives, and the manufacturer's declaration of conformity of the product to the European standard and voluntary certification for compliance with French national standards and control of the safety of the products on sale. Compliance with European Union directives is confirmed by third-party certification and CE mark. In France, about 20% of products are subject to this method of evaluation. CE marking means that products have passed all necessary producers for assessing compliance with the requirements of the directives applicable to it. The marking is applied by the person responsible for the assessment, that is the manufacturer or his authorized representative in the European Union, or the person responsible for the product realized to the market. It may contain not only the image of the mark, but the identification number of the authorized body that participated in the conduct of conformity assessment. The marking may also indicate the year of its application, but recently this information has been omitted. Attention should be paid to the fact that it is not possible to put a CA mark on products unless this is provided for by European Union directives, while full labeling is not allowed by European Union law. Thus, if the directives are not on the type of products, then only declaration of conformity applies to it. As for example, it's established in Directive 96/48 on high-speed rail system, or Directive 2001/16 on trans-European glance node goods system. Directives of new and global approach Lebanon, that the output document after the procedure or price compliance is a declaration of conformity, which usually takes the manufacturer, and which he himself reported to be his induction matches with all applicable European Union directives, the floor which is subject to this product. The declaration of the manufacturer under his responsibility indicates that the product conforms to a specific European standards. The manufacturer also has the right to mark the goods with the SS symbol. The authorized body carries out inspection control over such products, and if definition are found and deprives of the right to labeling, if a product is manufactured according to a different regulatory documents, then its subject is certification by a third party. Voluntary certification for compliance with French national standard is carried out by AFNOR, and the most stringent certification scheme usually used. Certified products are marketed with the mark of compliance with French national standards NF. Voluntary certification is subject to 75% of the output. In contrast to the confirmation of compliance with European Union directives, in the case it is required to prove that the goods comply with all the requirements of the national standards, including safety. The safety control of products on sales is carried out through regular checks of the quality of selected samples marked with CE and NF marks to the requirement of the European Union directive or the national French standards, respectively. The Ministry of Economy, which manages the work of several thousand inspectors, is most active in this. The National Systems Certification System for compliance with the state standards, which is certified by the NAF mark, which is used for all types of goods. The right to the NAF mark can be obtained by the manufacturer on the basis of contract and license in the case when significant part of manufacturers of this type of products is interested in it. In France, NF mark marks more than 100,000 types of products. It has 110 modifications for various industries. Foreign-made products may also be marked with this mark if it meets and establishes requirements for similar French products. With a view greater accessibility for applicants, AFNOR has approved a network of authorized bodies eligible for certification to receive the NF mark. The authorized body performs instead of AFNOR all functions related to certification, management, testing, and control. NF certification is voluntary. The exception is medical products, material, drugs, equipment, where testing, including clinical, is mandatory. Such products are marketed with the sign NF medical. Despite their voluntary nature, manufacturers of any kind of products strive to obtain the right to label it with the NF mark, since ensures consumer confidence in the quality of goods. Also, testing laboratories in France can be divided into four groups: the state, public, private, and the laboratories of firms. Accreditation in voluntary and funded by application laboratory, and four has accredited 60 laboratories that have the right to test products on correspondingly wide national standards. Separate accredited laboratories, technical industrial centers that are controlled by the government. In addition to voluntary accreditation is provided by the National Network of Testing Laboratories, RNE, the program of which is subsidized by the state. The term of accreditation doesn't exceed 3 years. The first verification is usually appointed after a year, and within the framework of the RNE, there are the largest test centers in France, national testing laboratories, LNE, and the Central Electrotechnical Laboratories, which is also custodian of the standards and state standards for electrical products. The accreditation of laboratories for calibration of measuring instruments is carried out by the National Body of Metrology of VMM. And there are also a special type of accreditation that is mandatory, usually associated with particular ministry. For example, the many of the environment ministries, the term of such accreditation usually doesn't exceed 2 years. Thank you for your attention. Do you have any question? Do you have any question?
No. God.